Hi, I'm Colette,
And I'm Lisa from That's Her Business.
and today we're doing our second segment video of I'm a Woman, What's Your Superpower? And we'll be speaking to Councillor Sarah Wissler.
Hi, Sarah. How are you today? And thank you for joining us.
I'm very well, thank you. It's a nice and bright Monday morning, and lots have been happening already since 8 o'clock. How is everyone?
We are well prepared, yes.
So, Sarah, you're a DA councillor for Ward 23. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions about what actually councillors really do. Some people think that we're elected to be the call centre and to just report everybody's pothole and street light that's broken, which unfortunately that is not the case. Can you imagine? I'm footing 40,000 phone calls a day trying to fix somebody's pothole when we have companies that take care of these things. So this week I'm actually putting a little snippet together to explain to residents exactly what ward councillors actually do. So we're elected to be the legislative arm of the area. So in other words, we check budgets. We make sure that there are projects allocated to our wards. We hold the administration to account. We try and push certain policy within the city that is aligned to obviously the DA and will benefit the residents of Johannesburg. Myself, I sit on a portfolio called Public Safety, which is JMPD, EMS, Disaster Management, with Michael's son and a couple of other people. And my job is to hold JMPD, EMS, and so on accountable to the projects that they're doing, all the roadblocks that they have, and the recruitment of officers, and so on. So we get documents that get sent to us every month, and I can tell you sometimes they're like this, sometimes they're like that, sometimes they're a lot like this. So we had tons and tons of paper, and then we have to go through every single piece and pick out any indiscrepancies that we're not happy with or things that needs to be checked. So the last month we had our budget for the end of the year, which didn't pass because we couldn't come to consensus about what was in it, and we had to fight for the changes to the budget. That's why it was late. We only managed to pass it on the 9th of July, so everything's a bit late. It's because we fought to have a whole load of things that were in the budget changed. So that's the stuff that we do. It's not operationals. Operational stuff gets dealt by Joburg Water, City Power, JRA, and so on. We just nicely, politely beg and ask them to make sure they get the jobs done in our wards. So that's what we do.
Okay, so Sarah, you are definitely always on the go and you've got your hands full, and I don't think you quite sleep a lot.
Right.
So, Sarah, being on the go all the time, what do you take to give you that extra energy and to keep your immune system going? Because you're always like an energized bunny when we hear from you.
My husband is an absolute gem. He brings me every morning, brings me a whole lot of vitamins. I have no idea what they are. He just says to me, drink this, and then gives me that with a cup of coffee.
Well, they definitely seem to be working, Sarah.
Yes, definitely. And it's so great that you've got that support.
And Sarah, I know you also have a passion for uplifting the underprivileged as well as animal welfare. Can you tell us a little bit more about this and what you do to support them, how you go about this?
For a lot of people who don't know, I'm going to go back a little bit just to give you a bit of history so you understand where it started with me to get to where I am now. So in 2013, there was an armed robbery at my house. It was quite a vicious one. It was a home invasion. And that changed my life completely. And I decided I needed to do something to give back. So I joined the local CPF for a bit on the committee, and then I started Domestic Watch in the ward, teaching domestic workers and gardeners on crime prevention. So that's how that whole thing started. And then I found that I needed to branch out a bit because the stuff that I was doing wasn't fulfilling enough for me, and I felt I needed to do more. So then I started the Glen Vista and New South Residents Association not long after that, and I started to incorporate the training that I was doing that was Domestic Watch. Also, I found it was too focused on one thing and we needed to kind of broaden out a bit. So then I started community awareness training where we would do more hands-on stuff like first aid, We would do mock armed robberies where we'd get D&D to come in and show get the people to see what happens during an armed robbery, what to look for. We did fire training, how to use a fire blanket. So that's how it evolved to there. Then the animal stuff came up, and I'll rescue anything with paws on it. My husband will tell you at one stage I had 5 German shepherds in the house, and he was ready to move out because the dogs took over. But then I started helping out with running around in the ward because we was part of the residents association, catching animals. And then I hooked up with a couple of other people, and we've done a couple of nice things, especially with the furry godmothers, the Johannesburg SPCA, a New Hope dog rescue, Irwins when they were around. I used to do a lot of stuff with Irwins and Wet Nose out in Pretoria. Then I'm not sure if you are aware, but I also do talks on domestic violence and human trafficking. Were you aware of those?
No, I wasn't aware. Can you tell us a little bit more, Sarah?
Right. So why I do that is myself and my brother were both, when we were young, we were both abused by our parents, and we ended up in a children's home, separated for quite some time. And I didn't see my brother much after that. And I lived on my own from when I was about 16. So I went through a tumultuous stage in my life where I perpetuated the cycle, constant domestic violence cycle that it went through, until eventually one day my ex-husband, it just snapped. He rammed my head into a eye-level oven. I've got some terrible photos of what I looked like. And when I came round after that, I decided that was it. I needed to change my life, and I needed to do something about it. So I started talking to people that need help with regards to domestic violence and human trafficking. I've set up a foundation called Believe. The reason it's called Believe is because when I first started out, I didn't believe that I could be anything. I didn't believe that I was worth anything, and I didn't believe that anyone would ever love me again. Whereas with now, the positive spin is you can believe that you are better than what you are, and you can believe to get on with your life, and you can believe to be everything that you aspire to be. So within my foundation, I have an attorney who does all of our legal work for us for free. So if any women come to us and they need a divorce decree or protection order or a child agreement, he will draft all of those things up for free to make sure that they're done. I currently work with a number of shelters in Johannesburg where we place people for the moment until mine is ready. Within this, we also have a medical doctor that can help us with the J188s because sometimes we find that people don't want to go to the hospital because if they feel like they're being violated all over again. And I know it's terrible, especially that they don't treat you with kid gloves. It's just they need to get your gun and off and sign the papers and off you go. It will also help with getting the police statements done in a nice, quiet environment where you feel safe. So I do those as well, and I run every year. In August month, unfortunately now with COVID, I can't do it, but I run the Virago Awards for exceptional women within Joburg South, and people put in nominations for these awards, and it's sponsored by the likes of Mall of the South, Turn and Tender, and a couple of other places, and these women are recognised for phenomenal work with regards to all sorts of things, from pet rescuing, from helping other people, from running a daycare centre, from a multitude of different things.
Yes, I think with human trafficking, a lot of people don't realize what a serious matter it is and how far-reaching it actually is.
It's huge.
Absolutely.
Yep, I work with the National Freedom Network on the human trafficking. I'm registered with them, so we've had quite a lot of information that's come through as far as that is concerned, and it's the awareness. We need to make sure that young girls and men, for that matter, are made aware of what is out there and how quickly they could be trafficked. You don't even realize it. Like just the simple thing of answering a post for a job interview, and before you know it, you've been taken and you're gone.
Yeah, it's really shocking, and more people need to take notice of that.
Sarah, you are absolutely such an inspiration, and we were wondering who has been an inspiration to you in your life. Is there anybody in particular that has inspired you?
I don't know, actually. growing up like I did, it was tough. And if you didn't pull yourself back up by your bootstraps, you weren't going to get anywhere. Unfortunately, um, my brother didn't survive that. He ended up dying of a drug overdose about 20 years ago. He just, the stuff that happened with both of us, he just never got over it. I've just taken bits and pieces from where they've come. I haven't got one particular person that's motivated me at any point, but it's during my life, I can't really say, because I've just pulled from different places, and from those little things that I've pulled together has given me the inspiration for me to do what I want now.
Okay, Sarah, so tell us, what excites you and gets you up in the morning, and what are you most excited about at the moment?
I'm at the moment also, that we're doing this feeding. We feed people in the south. I started it as soon as lockdown happens, and it's the most amazing thing. I have people phoning me from all over Joburg to just want to help me give stuff to people. Like, we've got 38 bales of jerseys that I've got to sort through today, and those are all going out. And then on Sunday we did Door of Hope with 60 vehicles from the car club, and they came and brought food and stuff because I kept asking for things. Those things, when I wake up in the morning, these are the kind of things I just love doing. I absolutely love it. And as a councillor, our job is difficult, but I can tell you now, I absolutely get so much fulfillment out of it, with the amount of stuff that I'm able to do with the position that I have that can assist other people, whereas before I would have been hindered with a lot of stuff. So I love my job. I love what I do. I love my community, the people of Ward 23. I love them. They are so generous and so kind and always so giving. And I don't know what possesses them, but they love to jump on board with any crazy idea I come up with. So that gives me hope.
Sarah, how would you like to be remembered? How would you like the world to remember you?
Somebody that made a difference. That's all.
Yes, Sarah, and you definitely do make a difference, absolutely. And I mean, we look at the amount of support that you have, and really, it's phenomenal.
Yes, and so many people talk about you. I don't even think you realize it.
No, absolutely. I don't think you actually realize how many people appreciate what you do for them, people that are in dire straits, and what an enormous amount of help you give to others, and really, we're very grateful for what you do out there, Sarah. You truly are a superhero.
Thank you.
And so, Sarah, what message do you have for women out there that are in business?
Stay strong, be resilient, be kind though, keep your ears wide open for stuff, because you pick up things all over the place. So just take those into consideration, and never, ever let go of what you want to do, and follow that dream, and make sure that you can continue with it, because even if you fail, you can pick yourself back up and you can get yourself going. It was the story regarding the light bulb. There was a million ways that the light bulb failed, but there was one that eventually it actually did work. So even if you fail once or twice, or even 3 or 4 times, pick yourself back up and carry on with it, because you'll get it right eventually.
I couldn't have said that better.
Okay, so we found that women in general never speak about our own accomplishments with pride. So in this last section, we would like you, Sarah, to blow your own voo-voo and tell us about an accomplishment that you're really proud of.
Let's see.
Just one. I know there's a lot, but just one will do.
I think being elected into this position, it was one of the proudest moments of my life, to be honest with you, over and above, my marriage and my family and stuff, which I love my husband very dearly, and I've got the most wonderful kids. But for me, I think it's being elected to have people have faith in me to do this job, and to be elected in this position is a major privilege for me, and it's probably one of the proudest moments of my life when I got elected.
And is there anything else that you'd like to add? Perhaps new projects that you're starting and would need some more help and support? What can we do? What would you like to add?
Okay, so yes, please keep supporting our feeding scheme through Milbarton Pick and Pay. We've got animals as well as humans that we're feeding, obviously, and we keep the price as low as possible. You can pay them directly. And then Glen Vista Fruit and Veg has also got a little slush fund going for us for that. And then, there's something I just want to let you know that we're going to be launching.
Mhm.
The clean cut mowers is in Milbarton, and they've kindly donated one of those big, not just a weed eater, but one of those big brush cutters for me. And I've got a couple of unemployed people in the ward who are now going to start up, and they're going to pick up on service delivery stuff where the city doesn't cut regularly, because they'll cut grass for every 6 weeks instead of every 2 to 3 weeks. So we've got an unemployed group of guys that's got a bucky, and they're actually going to go around and do the stuff that the city never does, like scoffling and that. And we're going to need support for them for petrol and to give them a stipend to do this. So if we've got any big businesses in Ward 23 that would like to jump on board and assist, we can make sure the branding's on the car. And we'll give you the airtime that you need, and that's something that will help keep our ward as pristine and beautiful as it is. So I'm looking for support there if anybody can help us.
Thanks, Sarah, and we'll definitely send that message out for you and get the help that's needed.
Yes, get the message out there.
Okay, Sarah, thank you so much for chatting to us today. It was really super, super cool having you on That's Her Business.
Yes, and we know that you're a very, very busy woman, so we appreciate the time that you've given us for this interview. Thanks so much. Carry on doing what you do, because you're the best at it.
Absolutely.
So thank you for that.
Thank you, Superwoman.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you.